All right, Emil, and hello everyone. Welcome to this episode of MakeCode Arcade. And today we're going to be doing a Skeet game, which is very fun. So back in the Merle lane, these are the Skeet games. I'm just going to demo that. If you see, it's a game where you're simulating skeeting. So you've got these flying skeets, and then it's a two-player game. You can control the height um, of your gun, and then you can shoot that. So we're going to try to build something like that. Does that make sense?
Yep.
In MakeCode Arcade. Just a shout out to the Wireframe magazine, which is a great magazine about video games, and they always have a cool section on building your own retro game. And in this case, it's green, so you don't see it. But yeah, they got a game about the skeeting game, which is very cool. Let me put it here.
Oh, that looks so good.
All right, so it's got everything you want to know about these games. So I thought we would try to build it in MakeCode. This game is done in PyGamer, in Python, but we're gonna do it in blocks in MakeCode Arcade. Otherwise, super cool magazine. If you haven't checked it out, it's called Wireframe. And on every episode, they've got an example of game you can try to redo. All right, Emil, you ready?
Yep.
Let's get started. So there's no tutorial for this. We're just going to start the game right up the bat by creating a new project. And we're just going to make sure that...
Our eyes look really robust.
We're not in the pro studio here, so sometimes we lose
We are in
our eyes.
the basement.
All right, Skeet. Skeet Master. Skeets.
Skeet's, that's a weird name.
All right, so if we, if you go back to the magazine, you can see you've got
Time.
time here. I've got a sprite here, obviously. We've got these two cool sprites moving around, and then you've got these skeets flying all over the place. And then also, you see there's a little shadow. That creates an impression of 3D. And then there's a whole scene that we have to draw. All right. That seems like a plan. So where do you want to start, Emil? Let's zoom in a bit.
Sprites.
All right, the sprites. Let's get going. So we're going to create a sprite, and what's going to be our first sprite?
The guy that's shooting.
The shooter. All right. And just to speed up things, let's just pick one from our gallery. Actually, the little ninja would be perfect. It kind of looks like he's holding. You could almost think that he's kind of holding the
Then I could change that a little bit. Let's see.
Go down. There's maybe the villagers work better.
Oh yeah, maybe the villagers. Draw a little bird
We've
shot
used
rifle.
that one too many. Oh, there we go. She's we can see her from the back.
Oh yeah.
That's
that
pretty good.
works.
All right, let's keep it like that, and let's move on. We'll do the art later on. Okay. How about we set some background?
Yeah, we set some background.
Set a background color. Oh, you want to draw it?
We could draw it.
All right. So we're looking at. Oh yeah, you could just pick one of the. And then.
They're like these little dots.
Well, you need a sky, so draw a skyline. The dot we could do in particles. So what you want to do when you have a lot of painting is you're going to draw a line here. And then you're just going to paint the top. That didn't work out. Oh yeah, see, there's a hole here. Right there. Make sure you don't have a hole. And then boom. Oh, there's another hole somewhere. Oh, there we go. Yeah, no more hole. And yeah, we've got our. I think what he did was he had some. Oh, those are big dots. And then we need the station at the bottom. Now we could also use a tile map if we wanted to.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah. So we're gonna do the bottom here, under the dirt area. And again, I can then paint. Whoops. I missed a bunch. Yeah, I missed one on the side. That's behind us. All right, Emil, let's paint that.
This?
Yeah.
There you go.
All right. And that's our background.
I'm not going to talk about that.
Let me see what we were supposed to draw. Yeah, pretty much the same. Very close. Yeah. If you compare the two. Yeah. Kind of does it. All right.
Yeah.
So we've got a background, we've got our sprite. Our sprite is not really well positioned. Let's move it.
Yeah.
It is already in center, so that's good. But we want to change the Y. Now, if you remember, the size of the height of the screen is
120.
Yeah.
So we need it to be like 10. Can try out.
10?
Let's see.
Let's see.
Oh, I know what 10's gonna be. Yeah.
Yeah, so remember, it starts counting on top. So you want to kind of count backwards from the bottom. Yeah.
Yeah.
Looks great.
Perfect.
Perfect. Okay, so we've got that sprite down. What else do we need to do?
We
I'm looking
need
at the image here.
to get the projectiles, or we need to get these little.
Let's do the
these circles.
the squares.
Squares.
The
Yeah.
circles that looks like squares. The aimers.
The
I don't know how you
aimers.
call those.
The crosshair.
Crosshair?
Yeah.
All right. All right, so let's create a new variable. And wait, no, let's create a new sprite
Oh, okay.
for the crosshair. We're going to start with 1. Will be a good start.
Rename it.
Crosshair. Oops.
Oops.
How about rename the other one too? I'll do the typing. All right, so we got our shooter, we got our crosshair. Let's go and draw this one.
Do all this.
And this one was more of a, I think you want to draw the outskirt. Let's draw the outside of that sprite.
What do you mean?
It's empty on the inside.
Oh, okay.
See? Let's see if I can zoom in a bit.
So like that.
Right, and we're drawing this.
Oh, okay. I was drawing the saucer.
Which would be called saucer if it was a saucer. Yeah, you want to be all on the outside of the sprite.
Oh, okay.
So start from the corner. Now it does have some cool, if you look at the style, it has an inner black
Yeah. Inner black circle.
inner black circle, and it has some transparency in the middle. Yeah.
It's not really.
It can be center because it's 15 by 15.
16.
Maybe you can do 16 by 16. It's even. You could do double transparency. It's fine.
Oh, yeah, I could. Okay.
All right. Let's try that. Can come back to that. Now.
Holy.
Oh yeah, looks pro. This saucer is,
So we need to move crosshair with buttons.
yeah, it does move. So that, but it only in the original game it only moves up and down.
Oh, it does?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're gonna wanna change that to being the crosshair, and we're gonna
So we only want it to move Y.
yeah.
Okay, let's see.
Yeah.
Pretty good. Maybe we could up it a bit. I don't know. It's fine.
Yeah, we're gonna need some walls here.
Okay, so sprite stay on screen?
Yeah, I'm just gonna do it like that.
Yeah.
It's gonna be the easiest to get started. Yeah, make sure you scroll up the code.
Yep.
All right, so we're going to use the same screen to make sure the crosshair doesn't leave the screen. The shooter is not moving.
Yeah.
And it's going up and down, and if I keep going up,
Maybe we
it's
could
stuck.
speed it up a bit.
Yeah,
Kind of
let's try that.
200.
Makes it harder to
Yeah.
aim at things.
I think like 180.
180. All right.
Yeah. But then like, yeah, that's better. Okay.
All right. So now, you know, again coming back to the game, we've done these ones.
So we kind of want to do an overlap. I
Yeah,
guess.
we're gonna have to start doing these the skeets.
Wait, do you just put your thing over it and it shoots, or do you have to like?
Yeah. So when the player shoots, then you throw a bullet.
Mhm.
Or we could just say
Overlap.
when it shoots, we could check whether they're overlapping.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we need actually to start throwing these
Yeah.
these
wait,
skeets.
so should we make functions?
Yeah, we can make functions. That's a great idea.
So
So let's go and create the functions we need. And this is going to be
crosshair.
create crosshair. See, I use a verb in my function, so it tells me what it does. And that's the crosshair. Now, if you move something in a function, you make sure
You call the function.
you call the functions. Yeah. Here we go. And we're going to do a second function. You can create as many functions as you want.
Yeah.
Create, what is it?
Shooter.
Shooter. All right. Create shooter.
Oh my god.
Yeah, just drop it there and then. All right, and we can right click and reorganize this code. We want to format code. There we go. Yeah, but we lost our shooter sprite. Yep, we're talking about making sure you call these functions.
And the background image will stay there.
And we test, and the game is still working.
Yep.
Perfect. All right, these skeets. Let's start with the left side skeets.
Oh yeah, because they're coming like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they kind of come in at a certain time interval. So we can use that. Kind of. They keep shooting.
Okay, we don't need that. We need a game update.
Yeah. Yep.
I need to clear out.
You lost piece of that block. It's fine. Just trash it. We'll start from scratch.
No, it's
Oh yeah, you're fixing it. All right. So we're gonna create a skeet every 2 seconds.
we'll see.
We'll see. Let's draw that. I think in the gallery we can use a football.
Oh yeah. Can I draw?
Sure.
It's gonna be quick.
Now, if you know the skeet is gonna be thin, okay. All right.
There you go.
There you go. Perfect skeet.
Then they kind of have a little like a little.
Yeah, a
bowl.
little top.
Yeah.
There we go.
Kind of like a frisbee, I guess. But
Yeah, it is very. It's like a. I don't know what they do.
like a plate.
Yeah, it looks good.
But we need to do random. We need to do a random Y.
Yeah, so we need to position it. Actually, they always come from the first. So they always start from the first same location because there's like this machine that throws the skeets.
Mm-hmm.
So we need to position the projectile, and then we need to specify the speed. So let's see. So let's. I think we want the skeet to be here.
Yeah, and it goes up and then down.
So we're gonna set the position on that. How about renaming it? Rename it. It's gonna help. Yeah, there we go. Skeet. We're talking about the skeet, so we call it skeet. We're gonna move that skeet.
It's X or it's Y and X?
I think it's Y because it already starts on X0. And we're gonna put it near the bottom. It could start at the same height as the player.
Mhm. So like around here
Yeah.
in the green.
Yeah.
So
So it's 120 minus, I don't know, 20.
it's still going down.
Yeah, it's going down because we're giving it a speed that's down, so we need to change that.
Negative.
So the speed on the Y should be positive. Yeah, it should be negative. And we should have some acceleration, so it kind of
Yeah,
curve.
like gravity.
Yeah.
And
Let's
then
add
it's-
some.
You
Yeah,
can
let's
just-
add some acceleration.
You can't even hit it.
Yeah.
It has to go like that. So should we change this?
Yeah, this should be higher. It has to move across the screen, but it also has to fall. So for that, we're gonna set some acceleration.
Let's see. It keeps on pausing. Yeah. Okay. But here, you just go here. Bing.
Yeah, it'll be the most boring game.
Okay, acceleration. Let's set my.
Yep, set X, not change. Yeah, you just want to set it. And we're gonna do a vertical acceleration. This is like gravity.
So, Y.
Y. And we're gonna say
50.
Oh, it's not happy about the variable.
The screen went completely dark.
Oh, that's a bit too much. All right, 200.
300. No, it has
Okay,
to like
keep going.
200.
A bit less.
100.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we do?
Now there's a problem. It always shoots at the same spot.
Yeah.
So we need to vary
Speed.
the speed. And that's the VY here. So what we're going to do is we're going to use
Math.
our trusty
Pick random.
pick random.
So the cap will be like negative 150.
So that's going to be vertical almost. Okay. So that. All we can play with that. So we're going to say between minus 150 and minus 80. So minus 150 is going to do, that's the maximum. That's too much.
Yeah. And then minus 80.
So minus 120 is kind of high.
Yeah, that's
That's
good.
good.
That should be the cap.
And then 80 is,
Okay, that's pretty low. I mean, that's the middle. Maybe you could do 70.
70.
That's like the
So
middle.
we're
of
kind
the
of
screen.
ballparking, figuring out what values are good.
Okay, that's better.
That's better. So we go from 120 to 70. And those are going to determine the angles of our skeets. And our player is then trying to shoot them.
Yeah, it's pretty good even with one skeet coming from one side.
All right, let's handle now shooting.
Oh yeah. Create crosshair. Do the
No,
crosshair shooting. We just have the.
we need to handle the button press.
Oh yeah. So like.
Yeah, just maybe move away from all the code when you decide to move a block. All right, so here's what we could do. We could, because logically what's happening is the player, when he shoots, the player is gonna shoot that bullet. Right. So we could just send a.
I have an idea how to upgrade the crosshair.
Oh, you know what? Maybe we should do a 2D game where you can move in 2D.
I have an idea how to change the crosshair. I'm just gonna draw on the crosshair.
Oh, you know what we could do?
Second.
If you want to make it, the problem is it's not symmetric.
Oh
So
yeah.
we're gonna make it 15 by 15,
Make it symmetric.
And then now there is actually a center. Now there's a 7. There's going to be a point in the center where it's going to look like it's in the middle. And then we redraw the rest. Oh. Chunk.
Where's all the red?
Hey, wait a second. I'm redoing the red here. Yeah, so when we shoot, we're going to test for overlap. And then that should be V1 of the game. All right, artistic skills.
Here, let me
Oh, you want to do that? Yeah. Maybe leave a little bit of gap in the center. This is too much.
Oh yeah. Like this?
Like here. Yeah, like this, and then also here.
Oh yeah.
Maybe even like that. That's great.
That's really good.
That's really good. Oh yeah. Although the red and blue is kind of hurting my eyes, but.
Yeah.
All right. So basically, when the player shoots, we need to test whether.
You want to know how to protect your eyes?
Yeah. Whether we are overlapping. So let's go back to our code. So typically we use the overlap event, but in this case, we're not going to do that. We're going to check.
True.
Something overlaps. So if you go, yeah, we're going to do an if.
And then we might have a block.
And we have this overlap with.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we put that. And
I've
so we're
seen
going to
it.
say if.
I saw it yesterday.
Aha, but we have a problem here is that
If.
we need to track, basically need to go over all the skeets. So this is not going to work because we're only going to track the last skeet, which we might be lucky with.
No, on button A pressed. Oh yeah, it's not really. Yeah. Let's see.
So then we destroy the skeet.
Yeah.
Well, so I'm going to change a bit the game. I'm going to allow the visor to go both ways because really I want that. I don't want to restrict myself to. And then I'm actually going to send. See, again, this is.
That's
It's actually
better.
super hard.
Yeah.
Might want to make them slower.
No. You have to.
Yeah, it stops. Yeah.
That's better.
And then when we shoot, we just throw. We send a projectile.
We could do it also every time you miss, you lose a point.
Well, what we can do is this. I think there's. Ooh, follow. I think we're not going to be able. We're going to have to do the old way, which is going left and right, and then we're going to have to go through all the skeets and see if one of them is overlapping.
Okay.
So there's two ways to do it. Either you're looking at button A, or you can say, I'm going to look at the overlap event. And I'm say, if there's an overlap and A is down, then I've scored.
Yeah.
We can do it this way. Yeah, it's actually a great segue into loops. If you go into arrays, you'll see that we can get all the sprites from a certain kind. So great, let's grab that. Now, let's make sure our skeet, so our skeet is a projectile, all right? So we're going to enumerate all the projectile, and now we're going to go through the list of skeets. So we're going to do a for loop. Scroll down. There's more. No.
Oh.
No, there we go. For element. And this is a specialized loop that lets you, so the sprite list variable is going to host all the sprites that are from, we're going to call this skeets with an S. And we're gonna go through all the skeets that are in the game, and we're gonna test whether they're overlapping with the crosshair. All right, so we need to bring back that logic thing.
Small? Oh,
Yeah.
We can just expand. Here? In here?
Yeah, and now we go in sprites, and we get the block that lets you check for an overlap. So we're not using the event here, we're just testing.
This one?
Yeah.
Here?
And yeah, now we need to get these two variables right. So it's going to be testing between crosshair and this value variable. Yeah, there we go. All right, so we've got, and if this happens, we need to, what do? We know player has the button A down, is actually pressed.
We don't really need an effect.
No. Oh yeah, maybe like ashes.
Fire.
Very fast, very fast. All right, let's check it out.
Little incendiary.
You don't want to destroy Skeet. Remember, this is your Skeet.
Oh yeah, we want to destroy value.
Can you rename this one? Yeah. Rename this to Skeet. So this is my Skeet. I'm iterating of all the Skeets in my list of Skeets.
There's so many Skeets. So this is not the. You have to grab that
yeah.
Skeet.
Let's say.
Sket.
Flying Skeet.
Fly Skeet. Flying Skeet. Oh.
All right, flying Skeet, flying Skeet, flying Skeet.
Okay.
Oh, now it's using flying Skeet too. Oh well, we kind of confused them, but it's okay. So now that if I move this.
Can't we move VX too? Oh no, we can't.
Oh yeah, see? We need to shoot a little projectile.
We do? Does it shoot a little projectile in the game?
See, that's good. It's working. I don't know if it shoots. I can't remember if it shoots a projectile.
Could
So
have
I
a little
think
audio like.
now the way the game worked was, let's see.
We could count down. You have to shoot as many as you can, right?
I think the thing that made the other game work is that you had two crosshair, and you basically could play 2-player, 1-player on this, and then also the Skeets came from both directions.
Yeah. Well, this is pretty good already.
This is pretty good.
I think we could do.
We need like a game over thing.
Yeah.
So if you miss a Skeet, you lose a life.
You have 3 lives, 2 lives, 2 lives.
Now, how do we know that a Skeet hasn't been shot?
It leaves the screen.
Well, yeah. I don't know that we have an event on that.
No, we could do the life cycle.
Well, when we destroy it, we also kind of... So we need to know whether we've destroyed ourselves or whether it self-destructed. So one thing we can do, you know how it's always going to fall? So we can just check in a game update if the Skeet has fallen under a certain level.
An if?
So we're going to do the same thing. We're going to iterate over all the Skeets. So that's in arrays. Yeah, it really belongs the other side, but that's where we put it. And then we're going to do same approach. We're going to first make sure we're getting the projectiles.
Getting the projectiles.
And then because this is a list, we want to iterate over it. So we want to loop over it. For that, we're going to go in a loop and grab our trusty little for element. And update the list. Should be
Alley?
This should be list. Sprite list. There we go. And now we're gonna check that our the y value of the Skeet is like.
Do we need?
So there's a block to read the properties of a sprite.
Show coordinates?
No, it's here. It's this sprite here lets you read.
Oh yeah.
All right, so we're gonna grab that. We're gonna need some operator. We need some math logic operator to check that it's greater.
Please.
Yeah. So we're gonna check that the Y of the sprite is greater than the screen size.
Oh yeah, we can just grab screen size. Oops.
Well, we know it.
Okay.
All right, so we're gonna say, well, we know it's 120,
We need to change the
and this is gonna be value.
value.
All right, and this is X, which is not really what we want. We want the vertical position.
So VY.
Y. Y. There you go. And when that happens, we should just remove a life to our player.
Yeah.
And so make sure you destroy that Skeet.
Yeah.
Change life. There you go. Remove a life, destroy that Skeet. Otherwise, it's gonna
Should we
keep.
set the lives, or does it start at 3?
It started at 3.
Okay. So we also need to destroy the Skeet.
Yeah, you didn't need to destroy it. Otherwise, it's gonna on every update, it's gonna start removing life, and you're just gonna die almost instantly. So that's not good.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep.
All right. So we want to do the sprite destroy as usual. Let me
Yeah.
mute this. There we go. It's here, and we're just gonna destroy that. Yeah, it doesn't matter. We don't need an effect because it's
Yeah.
already outside the screen.
Yeah.
Just remove the effect. And yeah, this has to be the value. All right, so every time you miss a Skeet, eventually you lose a life. And eventually, whap, whap, whap. That's already a pretty good game right there. Let me try. Ooh. Yeah, I really need a left side. Oh, I missed one. Oh, we don't have scores. What's going on here? We forgot our score.
We don't have score. Well, we could just do on sprite destroyed. Add. Yeah, add a little here.
Yeah, that sounds great. So we using the change score, and whenever we shot a
There you go.
Skeet, we add it.
Yep.
Now we're gonna do a small mod, just to make it more exciting. When we create the Skeets, we're gonna kind of flip a coin and decide it's gonna go left or right.
Ooh. So percent chance.
Yeah. So what we're gonna want to do is, do an if.
Like that.
Actually, most of the code is the same.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The other thing we're gonna do is actually move setting the speed. All right, so what you can use in math is percent chance.
Yeah. It's at the bottom.
And we're gonna just go for 50, so 50. And here we're gonna move this out because we're just gonna override the speed. So in sprites, we're gonna set the, well, in fact, we keep this, but if there's a 50% chance we flip it.
Yeah.
So to flip it, what we're gonna do is we're gonna change the
X by screen.
by 160,
And
then we're gonna reverse the speed. So we're gonna set the speed to be the negative of the speed. Vx to be
negative.
to be, and how do we inverse the speed? We go in, we read the speed of the sprite.
Mm-hmm.
This is block. And then we put it in a negative block. 0 minus something is still. So we had some logic to create a Skeet on the left, but hey, although it's flying off. Oh, we use X. Oh, this is a bug.
Ah.
Look, we're using X here and VX. Oh, this is a bad bug. It was way too fast.
There you go.
This should be a great
So bad
two-player
at the game. No, we don't lose score. We only lose score if it comes. Oh, we're not losing score anymore. I mean, health.
Oh, what's going on? Yeah, that's funny.
Very easy. I don't know. It's not that hard.
Oh, I know what's going on.
I lost
The
one.
Skeet leaves the screen,
Yeah, on the sides, not at
and
the
then
corner.
it gets destroyed,
Uh-huh.
and then it never reaches the bottom. So we need to tell the Skeet that we're gonna kill it ourselves.
Okay.
And for that, because the projectile, they kind of have this built-in effect, but for that, what we're gonna say is the flying Skeet shall not auto-destroy. So now when it leaves the screen, oh yeah,
Okay.
takes a little while,
But it works.
but it works. Eventually, gravity will pull him down.
Yeah. Grr.
And you know, to make this more fun, we could have a camera shake
Whenever you shoot, even if you miss, as a camera shake. Yeah, we can do that.
we
real
could
quick.
shoot a little bullet.
No, look. I can just do camera shake.
Camera shake. Where do you want to put it?
And button A pressed.
Button A. Maybe something more subtle.
2 pixels.
3. Let's try that. Yeah. That's good.
So, like, there's a little bit of recoil pushing it up.
There's a little bit of recoil. All right. Let's see if we got everything we want. So we've got our little shooting. I think we should throw a projectile here. It would look better. Some kind of tiny little bullet that flies up.
Yeah. It's not that bad. I mean, sure, we could do some art.
Let's create a new projectile. It won't do anything.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be launched from my shooter going up, so Vx is 0. And what about Y? And I'm gonna make it something like 8 by 4. Nope.
Nope.
3 by 6. Yes.
Yeah.
You want to draw it?
A little. Look, this is probably. Yeah.
It's too big, maybe. 3 by 6. Yeah.
Dial.
Let me try. Let me give him a shot. Give a shot. And some white here. And a little bullet.
Unfill it.
Fill it.
And also do this. This.
Oh, it's like a reverse bullet. Let's try that.
It's a hollow point.
Oh, yeah. Oh, we need to destroy that thing.
If it passes,
There's a bug because it is a projectile.
Yeah.
So we need to make sure it's not a projectile. It's considered,
a minority.
the kind is just the same as the Skeets.
Yeah.
So there's a way to create your own kinds here. I'm gonna put it here. We just make sure it doesn't get mistaken with the other ones. It's gonna be a
Bulletino.
bullet.
We need it. Wait. Oh no, I can't rename it. Bulletino.
Bulletino?
Yeah, Bulletino.
Oh yeah, this is much better.
But it's not the crosshair anymore. See?
Yeah, that's true. It should stop at the crosshair.
Yeah.
All right, one more overlap. Let's go, Emil. That's going to be an overlap between the crosshair and the bullet, and we're just going to destroy the bullet.
This?
Yeah. So between the...
Bullet, player, and bullet.
Oh, wait.
No, because the
Where's our
crosshair's...
crosshair?
Crosshair's a player.
Well, we can change that. Yeah, crosshair. Yeah, it's important to get kinds for all your games. So we're gonna new kind, and that's gonna be
Crosshair.
crosshairs.
Crosshairs.
All right,
Could be crossy hairs.
crosshair. Yeah, that's the overlap, and we're gonna make sure we configure it right so it's between a player and a one of the crosshair, and what we're gonna do is just then destroy the bullet.
Yep.
And the bullet is out of sprite. All right, let's try that. Starting to shape up. Oops, I'm not on the simulator. Ah. I'm so bad at this.
You are.
Has to be faster.
Has to be way faster. Like, you should like barely be able to see it. 400, that's good.
Well, the bullet takes a while. You know. All right. Pretty good. Pretty good game.
I think I have an idea for your little glitch. So you go.
No, because the crosshair is the target. It's not the bullet.
Oh, the bullet does nothing?
No, the bullet's transparent. The bullet's just decoration. Yeah, it's hard. I'm not sure you get. It doesn't have repeat, so yeah, we should put a cost.
Every bullet you miss.
Maybe you can only shoot once. I think that's pretty good already.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We're gonna share this.
Yep. Skeety.
Skeety.
Skeety, skeet, skeet. Skeety, skeet, skeet.
And record a GIF and publish the project. If you're watching the video, you want to load this project, you can scan this QR code. It'll reload the project for you. It's in the video. And that's also a great way to share your programs. And that being said, that's the end of the game. Today we were building the Skeet game. Hold on, Emil. Let's show it in the background. Our super demo game. Let's go. Super Skeet game. And thank you again. Thank you, Wireframe, for all the cool ideas about games to make. And see you in another episode.